there are so many things I can tell you the whole, can tell you the whole day, but all I can say, I'm from South Africa, born and raised in South Africa, but now live here in Detroit, married to my queen, to the most beautiful queen in the world, Zukanye, Nomvula, Nondabula.
Hey, bro. That's me. No, just having fun. Yes, I'm Zukanye Nandabula, wife of Lifa Nandabula, and as we speak about the village approach, the name was given to me as his wife through a Makoti ceremony, and the marriage was a very sacred one in which the entire village was part of the ceremony, including his family. The blessings was asked from our ancestors, as well as the elders of the community, and the family and the village came together and chose the name for me, Zukanye, which means one who brings greatness to our people. And I am here to say that I'm really honored to share information with our community concerning the village approach.
The village approach, it takes the whole village to raise a child. Every village is involved on raising a child. You see, as a teacher, it takes the village to raise a child. The people from your neighbor, they raise you. The neighbor, next street, next block, the whole village is involved in raising you, because you pick up so many different characters. Some of the characters, some are negative, some are good. You see, so it's up to you which road do you want to take, so you can be a good reflection to the village. But most of the time, you as a human being must make sure the kind of approach, the kind of life you reflect to the people is positive.
I have had the honor to work with children from all ages, as well as their families, for over 35 years. And one thing that which I became aware of, is that to educate a child, you have to know where they're from. You have to know their history, their culture, their family. And that's when I realized the most important part of learning about your students is to learn about their family, learn about their community, be involved in their community, be involved in community activities, be it activities that were based around their block, be a block club party, you know, maybe visit some of their religious institutions, regardless to what religion you may practice, if any at all. I recognize that to find that inner spirit of their family is the most that you can do to get to know the culture of your students, because if you don't understand their culture, you'll never understand the student. Understand their value system.
You must know you are coming to teach the children, just like you are not coming to deal with the machine. You are coming to deal with the human being. People who need love, just like you should.
We speak about the village approach and the role that a teacher plays in the village. I want the teachers to know that you must understand that it is an honor to be in that role. Take that role with great pride, because you're invited to make a difference in a child's life. And the things that you will share with him will carry with him or her throughout their entire life. Sometimes we walk into a classroom and we feel one of the most important things is to make sure that our lesson plans are turned in on time. But the most important thing is to touch the spirit of the child and their family and to recognize where they are. Because you will never get through to a child, into their mind, into their spirit, until you know their inner spirit. Yes, when a student realizes that you value them as an individual, they recognize that they are important to you and they will perform for you. They will give it of their all because you've shown them that you believe in them and that you support them, not only in the classroom but at home, at family gatherings, and that shows love. And nothing penetrates a child's spirit more than love. And that's what our teachers need to give our children.
Even if we behave crazy, but still our teachers, they showed love. They never gave up on us. They kept on pushing us. No matter how much, no matter how many times we got off hand, no matter how many times we're out of control, but they never gave up on us. They kept on pushing us. No matter what we did. We used to dodge class, skip class, you don't go to class, you don't attend, when you leave home, your parents know you're going to school, whereas they don't know you're not going to school, you're going somewhere, hang out, or drink or smoke. We are out of control, but our teachers never gave up on us. So we must always remember we are all human beings. We all have different, somehow, as we grow as children, we're gonna do all this. That's part of life. That's part of life. But as teachers, we must never give up on our children. We must show them love all the time, no matter how much it is. When you go to school to teach your children, you must know we are coming with love. You bringing love, you bring utando, bring ubuntu, humanity. That's all we need. We need ubuntu. We need to start practicing ubuntu. You take, for instance, if you want to take, for instance, those children you're teaching, they were your nephew, your niece. Were you going to treat them different than you? You must take them as your family. Bring that love, that enjoy. Bring that village approach, that love, that enjoyment, so the children can enjoy. You know, the children, when you come to the school, when they see you as a teacher, they are not supposed to say, "Oh, here comes." They should be happy when they say you. They say, "Oh, here comes." Yay! You see, so we can be happy. So when they see you, you need to bring that love, that vibe, that vibration. The children, they need that love, that vibration.
One of my experiences as a child. First of all, I came from a loving family, and was one family that stood out in my mind and always will. It was the Massengale family, and they had about 10 in their family, and their father, Mr. Massengale, was always one who made sure that all the children were involved and activities, be it baseball, skating, and definitely we always played school. I mean, we have a porch full of children, even out in the line, children playing school. Mr. Massengale would be the teacher. And he was really valued in our community by all the children because it seems like he was the father to everyone, in our community, and he always kept us well organized in games. He exposed us to different languages, and as I mentioned, he was a father, father of 10, and I think as an educator, looking back, that a teacher would really gain a lot of knowledge of their students by interacting with a man of this character, someone who is really the root of a village. He was like, if you would say, the chief of the village, because he gathered the families together, he gathered the children together, and he helped establish a serious value system for all of us. It's so very important that we understand the culture of a student, and you have to be part of understanding with respect, not as if it's a class. You have to understand the culture from a perspective that you value, and you can understand what they see, the beauty in their food, the beauty in their art, in their dress, in their language. I just like to say that as an educator, that we need to recognize that we are a small part of the village. The energy that we give is very important because we're teaching our students to learn. But in teaching them, we must realize the values of that village. We must not enforce our value system onto the village.
Okay, as I mentioned before, as a teacher, when you go to the school, to the class, standing in front of those children, you must know what is your purpose of being a teacher. Why are you there? Are you going to teach these children to rebel against nature, or are you going to give these children what they need so they can save the village? Why are you there? You must ask yourself, why are you standing in front of the children? What type of education do you want to give to these children? Because the whole concept of education, the education, that is our ancient, our ancestors, when they taught us, when they went to school, because we've been going to school for thousands of years, the purpose of education was to free us from mental oppression of a human being, so you can able to save your village. You see, that's the purpose of the village. In the ancient time, the purpose of the village is not like the education now. We are not supposed to stand in front of the children and program him so he can go and save other people or save the master. No, the purpose of education is to free us from mental oppression so we can save the village, to save our ancestors. That's the purpose of that's the purpose of education, for standing in front of the children, so they can able to serve their community, serve the village, serve the creator, serve their ancestors, not to be slaves to serve another person, not to be slave to serve another person. That's not the way it's supposed to be.
And it is so very, very important that as educators that we recognize the importance of education. And I'm not talking about programming. I'm talking about giving children and families knowledge to improve the condition in which they are in. If a family is hungry, we can teach them about growing their own food through nutrition. It's so very important that the knowledge that is given is to improve the condition of the village. If it's not about a solution, it's about a problem. And as an educator, we're here to give our children solutions to improve the condition of their community, to uplift their community. And with that, I say Ashe, Ubuntu, humanity is education. Asante Sana. Thank you very much.